Throughout the early 2000s, the first-person shooter genre was popularized by World War II shooters. Every year, new Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, and Battlefield games were consumed by a fan base with seemingly unending demand. In 2002, EA's Sweden-based subsidiary, DICE, released Battlefield 1942, the first in a series that would go on to attain enormous popularity. While Battlefield was embraced by both audiences and critics alike, one group of players liked the game so much they felt obligated to expand on it in their own unique way. Founded in 2003, Trauma Studios was comprised of a group of players sharing in a singular vision for modifying Battlefield to provide a new experience for like-minded fans. Thus, the Battlefield 1942 Desert Combat mod was born. Trauma Studios utilized the tools and assets already existing in Battlefield 1942, along with some original creations of their own, and shaped them into a new multiplayer experience that saw players colliding in a Gulf War setting rather than World War II. Fans of the original game loved and praised Trauma's creation for its extraordinary levels of polish, but it wasn't only Battlefield fans who had taken notice of Trauma. In September of 2004, Battlefield developer DICE acquired Trauma, who were quickly put to work on the upcoming sequel, Battlefield 2. After functioning as a support studio on Battlefield 2, working on concept and game development, Trauma's Battlefield was nearing completion. But on June 7, 2005, just 2 weeks before Battlefield 2 would be released to overwhelming critical and commercial success, DICE announced the closure of Trauma Studios. It was reported that DICE extended the offer to relocate Trauma to their Sweden office, but Trauma declined. Only months later, in early 2006, Trauma was reborn as Chaos Studios, with a new parent company and publisher, THQ. After their experience working on the Battlefield franchise, the group formerly known as Trauma seemed to be the perfect fit for a publishing company looking to add a first-person shooter to their portfolio. THQ formed Chaos Studios with the intent of developing their own Battlefield and Call of Duty competitor, a game that would eventually be known as Frontlines: Fuel of War.
Frontlines has far more than its fair share of bad and ugly, so let's just start with the good. The story in Frontlines, while not spectacular, is incredibly eerie and unsettling to play in 2021. Taking place in 2024, the world has been plunged into a global energy crisis, creating famine and poverty that strikes indiscriminately. Two of the world's superpowers, China and Russia, have formed an alliance to both defend their own natural resources, while also expanding their reach to co-opt the resources of those countries with lesser military might. To make matters worse, during the early days of the energy crisis, the world experienced an outbreak of the avian flu on pandemic proportions. After a coup d'etat in Turkmenistan, the hand of both the Western Coalition and the Red Star Alliance are forced, and World War III appears to maybe be a little bit on the doorstep. The player character is a nameless protagonist, who's a member of the American fire team known as the Stray Dogs, known for their efficiency and brutality on the battlefield. Throughout the 7 chapters that function as larger missions, the Stray Dogs are accompanied by a reporter of the affiliated press, see Associated Press, through whom the bulk of the world building, storytelling, and exposition is done. The wartime journalist aspect is the game's single biggest strength, as it offers a perspective never before seen in a warfare shooter, and one that allows the game's writers to more easily turn the script against their heroes and examine the atrocities of both sides of a conflict to acknowledge the travesty that is war. Now, unfortunately, while the perspective from which the story is told showed true potential, the developers did a lackluster job utilizing their best idea, and as a result, were left pining over what could have been instead of enjoying what was. The events of